deep in the sprawling, misty wilderness of southeastern Alaska, where the ancient forests meet the frigid sea, lurks a legend whispered in hushed tones by the Tlingit and Tsimshian people. It's a story that has been passed down through generations, a chilling warning about a creature that haunts the liminal spaces between land and water, between human and beast. This is the tale of the Kushtaka. The name itself, Kushtaka, translates to land otter people, but these are no friendly, playful river mammals. They are sinister shapeshifters, terrifying beings that are neither fully human nor fully otter. Imagine walking along a remote shoreline, the only sounds being the lapping waves and the cry of a distant gull. Suddenly, you hear something else. It might sound like the whistle of a loon, or perhaps the faint, desperate cry of a baby, or even the pleading voice of a woman in distress. Your instinct is to investigate, to help. But that's exactly what they want. According to the lore, the Kushtaka use these sounds to lure unsuspecting victims away from safety, deep into the woods or towards the treacherous coastline. Miners, fishermen, and lost travelers are their preferred targets. Once you're isolated, they reveal their true nature. Descriptions vary, but they are often depicted as tall, hairy humanoids with the features of an otter-long claws, sharp teeth, and unsettling, dark eyes. They move with an unnatural speed and agility, equally at home in the dense undergrowth and the icy Alaskan waters. So, what do they want? The stories say they have a variety of malicious intentions. Some tales claim they steal the souls of their victims, turning them into Kushtaka themselves, forever doomed to join their ranks and lure others to the same fate. This transformation is a horrifying process, a slow draining of one's humanity until nothing is left but the creature. Other legends are even darker, suggesting the Kushtaka tear their victims apart with their formidable claws and teeth. A brutal end in a desolate landscape. One of the most famous stories comes from the area around modern-day Petersburg, Alaska. Thomas Bay, a beautiful but notoriously eerie inlet, is often called the Bay of Death due to its association with the Kushtaka. In the early 1900s, a group of gold prospectors vanished from the area without a trace. When a search party went looking for them, they found their camp abandoned, but no sign of a struggle. It was as if the men had simply walked off into the wilderness. However, the local Tlingit guides who were with the search party refused to stay after dark. Speaking of the land otter people and the strange, unsettling noises that echoed through the bay at night. Over the years, countless other disappearances and strange occurrences in Thomas Bay have been blamed on these malevolent spirits. The fear of the Kushtaka was so real and so pervasive that an entire system of belief and protection grew around them. It was said that the creatures feared dogs, fire, and the scent of urine. So travelers would often keep large dogs with them and build big fires at night. Some even carried containers of copper, as it was believed that the metal had properties that could ward off the creatures. Shamans, Oryx, were the primary defense against the Kushtaka. These powerful spiritual leaders were said to be able to combat the creatures, drive them away, and even rescue the souls of those who had been captured. The rituals they performed were vital to keeping communities safe. But are these just old campfire stories? Cautionary tales meant to keep children from wandering off or to explain the unexplainable. Disappearances that are all too common in such a vast and unforgiving environment? Skeptics would certainly say so. Alaska is a place of incredible beauty, but also of incredible danger. Hypothermia, animal attacks, sudden storms, and treacherous terrain are all very real threats. It's easy to see how a story like the Kushtaka could arise to personify these dangers, to give a face to the nameless dread of being lost and alone in the wild. The cries of certain animals, like loons or foxes, can sound eerily human, especially when distorted by wind and distance. It's plausible that a frightened, disoriented person could mistake these sounds for a baby's cry and wander off to their doom. Yet, for the people who live in these regions, the Kushtaka are more than just a myth. They are a part of the landscape's spiritual fabric. The stories are not just meant to scare, but to teach respect for the wilderness. They are a reminder that the natural world is powerful, mysterious, and not entirely under human control. To dismiss these beliefs as simple superstition is to ignore the deep cultural significance they hold. These tales are a form of knowledge, a way of understanding the world that has ensured survival in a harsh environment for thousands of years. They encode lessons about where it's safe to travel, what sounds to be wary of, and the importance of staying with your group. Interestingly, the Kushtaka legend shares similarities with other shapeshifter myths from around the world. The Scottish have the Kelpie, a water horse that lures people to a watery grave. Germanic folklore speaks of the Nixie, water spirits who do much the same, this recurring theme of a predatory, shape-shifting entity associated with water and deception seems to tap into a primal human fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of being tricked, and the fear of what lurks just beneath the surface. Whether it's the surface of a dark lake or the veneer of civilization, the Kushtaka's ability to mimic human sounds is perhaps its most psychologically terrifying aspect. The cry of a baby or a woman is a sound that is hardwired into our brains to elicit a compassionate, protective response. The idea of that very instinct being twisted and used as a weapon against us is deeply unsettling. It turns our own humanity into a vulnerability. It forces a terrible choice: ignore a potential cry for help or risk walking into a deadly trap. So, the next time you see a documentary about the stunning beauty of Alaska, with its glaciers, mountains, and forests, remember the other side of that beauty. Remember the stories whispered by the Tlingit and the Tsimshian, the warnings of the Landire people. Whether you believe they are real supernatural entities or powerful metaphors for the dangers of the wild, the legend of the Kushtaka is a chilling and potent part of Alaska's identity. It's a reminder that in the world's last great wildernesses, some mysteries are best left undisturbed and some cries are best left unanswered. Stay safe, stay aware, and always respect the stories of the people who have called these lands home for centuries. Thanks so much for diving into this dark corner of folklore with me today. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of strange legends and mysterious tales. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the Kushtaka, or if your culture has a similar creature. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.